What's up, guys? Tuki here, back again. This is my Quebec City Nordiques franchise mode on NHL 17. You already know that. You're here. You know what it is. And this is our round 2 matchup against the Philadelphia Flyers. We took care of the Sens in 5 games in the last episode. And now we are 4 games away, 4 wins away, from potentially getting a chance at revenge against Toronto. Now, Florida, I got no problem facing you for the right to go to the finals, but I'm hoping you lose. I am. Before we move forward, though, I did make 2 changes to the lines, actually. Dowcall, Timashov, and Puljujarvi were pretty bad in round 1. They didn't have a point. So, I don't know. I was originally going to put just Lutzer up there, but I'm thinking maybe we drop them down to the 3rd line. Kind of risky. And just to see if the 3 of them can get something going, since they're all struggling, and then have Ehlers with Lutzer and Kaigorodov. And you know what? Fuck it. Why not try it? Why not? What's it gonna hurt? It's not like Dowcall is much better than Lutzer. Lutzer's obviously much more defensively responsible. Obviously, the ideal situation would be to have Puljujarvi on for Kaigorodov, but they're not exactly the same type of player. And then, of course, Chychrun's back, and I'm really nervous about Chychrun because quite a few times throughout the regular season, somebody would come back. It's happened to David Savard 3 or 4 times since I've started this series, where he'll come back from injury. If you don't start him, his morale drops. I know I should just turn it off. But if you do start him, there's a high chance of them being re-injured. So, fingers crossed we avoid that situation. Let's get a look. Let's take a look. Let's get a look at the Philadelphia Flyers. 91 offense, 92 defense, 88 goaltending. So, as you would expect, we have them beat pretty much everywhere, but obviously they are going to have very dangerous players, and let's take a look to see at who those players would be. And we'll have to check this lineup. We'll have to check this lineup after Game 2 to see if they switch it up for us. But at the moment, their top line is Braden Shen, who had 3 points in the first round. How many games did they play? They played 7, right? Yeah, they played 7 playoff games in the first round, beating New Jersey. So 3 points in 7 games. Claude Giroux had 6 points in the first round, and then, of course, Voracek, 1 point. But obviously a line with Giroux and Voracek could be a problem. Second line, Scott Lawton, somebody we're familiar with. He never performed that well for us in a playoff game back in the Bruins series. He is with Sean Couturier, who has 4 goals, and Radel Fazliev, who is the reason why I'm pondering their lineup. Minor league scoring forward, 80 overall, only high AHL top 6, which makes me think somebody's injured or they're just going to change up the line. It's like, why would you not have Dale Weiss or Pascal Laberge there? Third line, Marcus Foligno, no points in the first round. Travis Konechny had 2 assists, and then Dale Weiss with a goal. And then the fourth line, Nick Delorier, Nick Cousins, and Pascal Laberge, who were all held off the score sheet in the first round. So, overall, a well-rounded team, some dangerous players, much like for us, secondary scoring is going to be huge for them and whether or not they get it. The defense is a hell of a lot better than what we were dealing with when we faced the Ottawa Senators. They have Ivan Provorov, only 1 point and was a -4 in the first round, so maybe off to a rough start. He is with Travis Sanheim, who has the same stat line. Second pairing is Shane Gostisbehere, 5 assists in that first round. He's with Mike Green, who had 4 points. Not too bad. And then the third pairing is Robert Hagg with Radko Gudas. I gotta admit, I like that defense. I do. Like, if that was our defense, I wouldn't feel terrible about it. That is a pretty good defense with some really good young players. The goaltender is Steve Mason, a .934 save percentage in the first round. He is, of course, backed up by Carter Hart, who we have looked at getting in the past. But you look at the scratch players, Delzato, Samuel Morin, who just hasn't grown at all, which is weird, and Urho Vakakainen. Fuck, man, these names. You can't mix this accent, or lack of accent, with Finnish names. Like, you can break it. I'm just moving on. Bottom line, he's a good player. I mean, only an 81. Good potential, though. So, interesting that Fazliev is just flat out in their lineup. I mean, it's not exactly a Vitaly Abramov situation, although I feel like Abramov would be a better second liner than him. But you watch, he'll score a hat trick in every game we play in this series, right? Because that's how it goes. But speaking of this series, it is time to get it underway. Game 1 on home ice, of course. We have home ice throughout the playoffs, which is a nice advantage. Let's do this. Can we send a message early and keep the momentum going? First period of game 1, and Isaac Lutzer with the goal. Welcome to the party, buddy. We put him up on that second line, took a chance, and he paid off. I mean, just terrible angle, but that decision paid off as Lutzer gets the opening goal. Second period, can we keep it up? And boy, can we. Matthew Tkachuk with another goal, and Nikolai Ehlers. He and Korpisalo, to me, are the main reasons why we are here. He has had a great postseason thus far. He gets another goal. We're up 3-0 heading into the third period. I was about to say things are looking good, but Voracek gets a goal, and that makes us rethink things just a little bit. 10 minutes to go. Seth Jones with a huge goal. We have a power play. A power play goal here would seal it, but of course we don't score. We never score on power plays, but we could score after them, apparently. Matt Duchene makes it 5-1. And this Nords offense is just on a roll right now. Lutzer, Tkachuk, who ends up getting the game winner, Ehlers, Jones, and Matt Duchene getting some scoring from our big names. And we take home the 5-1 victory. 4-point night for Matt Duchene. 3-point night for Matthew Tkachuk on the first line. And then Nikolai Ehlers. Like, if we really wanted to, we could put Ehlers on the top line. I'm not going to because, of course, Line is there. But the fact that we could probably roll with Ehlers, Line A, Puljujarvi on that top line, it's ridiculous. It is. And we, of course, take home the 5-1 victory. Things are looking good. So let's move right on to game number 2. Why waste time? Let's do this and hope that we can keep this momentum up. Second game, first period. Yeah, that was a hell of a first period. And we get the opening goal. It is Julius Bergman saving me from myself on that one. And that's what I was talking about, man, that supplemental offense. Obviously, we have our big names, but it's when people like Bergman and Ralph Jarrett score that we're looking good. So we have the 1-0 lead at the end of the second period. Can we keep it up? And yes, we can. Isaac Lutzer on the second line, getting it done. He might be making Michael Dal Colle a bit irrelevant. I mean, the plan was Dal Colle and now Lutzer, and then get rid of Duchene. Maybe we don't hold on to Michael Dal Colle after this year. I mean, because Lutzer's going to have to be on that second line. That's his spot. I mean, I suppose we could keep him on the third pairing. I'm thinking way too far ahead. We'll talk about that later. Third period. We're up 2-1. Shots are pretty even. Shots are pretty low, too. But we're making the most of our opportunities. One more goal for the Nordiques would seal it, and we would take home the 2-0 series lead. And again, we can't score on the power play, but then again, directly after Jesse Puljujarvi, he's on the third line. He gets it done. And that is it. A shutout in Game 2 for Joonas Korpisalo. It's a 3-0 win for the Nordiques. 21 saves for Korpisalo. 2 points for Puljujarvi. And, of course, the lone goal from Julius Bergman. And we are rolling right now. The only thing I can think to change are the power play lines because we're kind of struggling at that aspect of the game. I do want to take a look at their lines, though, again, really quick, as we, of course, head to Philly for games 3 and 4. I want to see if they've made changes. Again, Toronto did it, and that was a big factor, I think, in why they beat us, is because the AI smartened up, and they have the same exact lines. Radel Fazliev is just flat out their guy. He has a great wrist shot, though. He's just a good shooter in general, but he does have a good wrist shot. Decent skater as well, so I guess I can see why he's there, but he's not scoring. So it's a risk for Philly. I wonder how he did in the regular season. I should have looked, but oh well, too late now. Let's quickly go take a look at our power play lines and see what we can change. It is a shame, too. Our fan happiness is at a 72 despite our success because the arena is in pretty poor shape. Again, how does something go from 100 to 0 in one season? I mean, yeah, people are fucking animals, like, but just, I don't know. I don't understand that. It degrades way too quickly, and that needs to change. Let's get Kachuk and Laine on the... Oh, that would be why we have Michael Dowcall there. Well, we'll put him down there. And then, of course, we have Jones and Carlson. I'd rather have Carlson for the quick one-time option, and we'll see what that goes. That was the best line power play, though. That's what the game set up by default, but I think it's worth changing. But at the moment, we haven't really been... It hasn't been a detriment that our power play has been terrible. We are still winning games, and we will look to do that in Game 3. Let's do this. First period, and it's the opening goal, and it's Erik Karlsson. Not too shabby. 1 minute and 1 second into this game. Second period, can we add to it? We can. Chychrun and Abramov. That was a crazy end to that second period. Chychrun makes it 2-0 with 2:33 to go. Abramov makes it 3-0. Abramov makes it 3-0, and then 8 seconds later, just before the end of the period, Travis Konecny gives them hope. So 2 very quick goals there. We have a 2-goal lead. It is 3-1 heading into the third period. That late goal for Travis Konecny could be huge, and Sandheim brings them to within 1. Another power play for Philly. We kill that. And then Giroux scores, because that's just how it works. If you have a power play and you don't score then, you'll score right after it. 3.5 to go. We've blown a 3-0 lead, and Jesus, did we. Wow, I wasn't expecting that. All right. It's taken a minute for that to settle in. We had a 3-0 lead. Karlsson, Chychrun, and Abramov. But then that late goal from Konecny gave them hope. And then in the third period, Sandheim, Giroux, and then Marcus Foligno with the goals. And much like the Senators, the Flyers are not done yet. They get the victory in Game 3, and they knock us on our ass just a little bit. That's a tough way to lose. And at least it wasn't a blowout, but to blow a 3-0 lead is never good. I mean, that's an understatement. But we'll look to just push that aside. We look to move on. We're getting right into Game 4. Let's do this. We're going to bounce back just like we did against Ottawa, and we'll be good to go, and we'll have a 3-1 lead heading back home to QC for Game 5. First period of Game 4, and see, what did I tell you? You got to have confidence in this team. It's difficult. If you watch some of my series, it's difficult to have confidence in one of my good teams in a playoff series because you never know. But we get off to a really good start. Puljujarvi and Stan Kaigorodov with the goals. Not too bad. Second period, can we add to it? And I mean, it equals out. David Savard made it 3-0, but again, a late goal. Not as late as the Konecny goal, but with 4:05 left, Mike Green scores. We have them doubled up in shots, but we blew a 3-1 lead last time. Can we hold on this time? We have a chance for revenge right here. Again, I want to face Toronto, so this is perfect practice for revenge. Matthew Tkachuk makes it 4-1. A Maple Leafs fan, just their favorite scoreline. 6 minutes to go, and we're looking good. Just like in the Ottawa series, we bounced back from a loss, and we will take Game 4. They tried to fight back at the end. Dale Weiss with the goal. It does not matter. The game-winning goal goes to David Savard. We are getting plenty of offensive output from our defensemen. 2 points for Savard, 2 points for Puljujarvi. Weiss, the second star of the game. And for the second straight time, is Krediles hurt? Oh, shit. Okay, he's not out for long. He's out for just over a week. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. Okay. Well, we will be without Nick Krediles in the next game, and we are going to have to call up, presumably, Gabriel Vilardi. I think it will be Gabriel Vilardi. Tarasov's up to an 82. Can he take faceoffs? That was a weird glitchy. He's better defensively than Vilardi. I think I'm going to take Victor Tarasov. Like, I know... Well, hold on. Poise rating is 67, 66. Kind of looking at poise because, again, that's, like, how well they perform in high-pressure situations. None of them are great, so never mind. I don't think that'll be a factor. So I think we just have to go with the best option. And that's the thing on the fourth line. Tarasov is a bit better defensively, brings a bit more physicality, and obviously Velarde is actually a center. Oh, shit. Why does that keep glitching out? I'm going to call up Tarasov. I'm going to go with my gut here and bring up someone who's a little bit better defensively. Because that's kind of what we need on that fourth line in that role, is someone who's just a little bit better defensively. And even then, that's actually exactly what I was going to do, is put Kevin Stenlund at center. And right now, things are looking pretty good for us. Puljujärvi has bounced back. Timashov and Dowcall really haven't, so I think we'll go with that. We'll have Puljujärvi back up on the second line, and then, of course, Gorodov is there. The defense is set. We'll have to go best lines down in Cleveland, and we are good to go. Tarasov gets the call up. Stenlund moves to the fourth line center spot. Evan Tambolini's back. That doesn't matter. And we are one game away from returning to the Eastern Conference Finals. Same spot we were in against Ottawa. And now we have a chance to close out the Philadelphia Flyers. Let's do this. We won't let the Crediles injury bother us. The only thing is I didn't switch the power play lines back. I knew I was going to forget to do that. But it doesn't matter. We'll be good to go because we're going to beat Philly right here in 5 games. Let's do this. First period, and that's decent. That's not what I expected at all. Matt Duchene with 2 goals in 6 seconds. Unbelievable. Back-to-back goals for Matt Duchene. Timashov made it 3-0. We outshot him 14-5, but Dale Weiss with 32 seconds left brings Philly to within 2. Those late goals are very concerning. But let's hope we can bounce back here and add a couple more. 5-1 at the end of the second. I'll feel confident. Let's see what happens. All right, well, 3-1 isn't that bad. Let's get to it. Third period. We are 20 minutes away from going back to the Eastern Conference Finals. We don't score on the power play, but then immediately after, this game is scripted as shit, and I love it when it works in our favor. Puljujärvi made it 4-1, a long power play. We can't do anything with it. But Matt Duchene, a decent bit of time after. But regardless, that is it. The Philadelphia Flyers, Steve Mason and the Flyers just can't measure up. 2 straight series victories in 5 games. Beat Ottawa in 5. We beat Philly in 5. Matt Duchene's goal 6 seconds after his first ends up being the game winner. And this team has just rolled their way to a goddamn Final Four spot. The hat trick for Duchene, 2 points apiece for Tkachuk and Laine. That top line delivers. And now we get to find out who we play in the Eastern Conference Finals. 2-2 between Toronto and Florida. In the Western Conference, Edmonton up 3-1 on Dallas, and St. Louis and Chicago are tied at 2 apiece. Will it be Toronto? And Toronto wins a very important Game 5. Anaheim stays alive, and St. Louis takes a 3-2 lead as well. All right, we are... Moment of truth right here. Moment of truth. Will it be Toronto, or will Florida force a Game 7? Who's it going to be? And Florida forces a Game 7. Wow. St. Louis beats Chicago in 6. Anaheim comes back from 3-1 down to tie Edmonton. And we... will it be Toronto, or will it be the Florida Panthers? Let's find out, guys. I'd be nervous if it's Toronto, but I want to beat them so bad. Here we go. Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? Nick Crediles is back. And it's the Florida Panthers. Oh! Anaheim came back from 3-1 down to beat Edmonton. And the Florida Panthers win Games 6 and 7. And we will play the Florida Panthers. The defending champion Toronto Maple Leafs are out. And now we get to face the Panthers. I'm happy in a way, but like I said, I really wanted that measure of revenge. But regardless, we are going to the Eastern Conference Final. Have I said that enough? I don't think I have. We're going back. And it might not be a chance for true redemption, but we are 4 wins away from facing either the Anaheim Ducks or the St. Louis Blues for the Stanley Cup. And we will find out if we can reach the final in the next episode. As always, guys, you know what I'm going to ask you to do. Help support the channel in any way you deem necessary. And I will see you in round 3 against the Florida Panthers.